the only competitors who get to have fun on this one, as the Obstacle Maze returns for the B-League and shortly thereafter the C-League as well. Hello everybody, I'm the Emperor. In a thrilling event, we saw wire-to-wire runs in the A-League, we saw back-and-forth brawls, and now the B-League competitors get to have a similar taste of the Obstacle Maze. The Time Warpers, Evergreen Warriors, Venomous Vipers, and the Gliding Glue Balls here in our first heat. And the Time Warpers take the early lead, but here come the Venomous Vipers, the Evergreen Warriors trailing, get a little nudge from Supersonic, and another one, and the Time Warpers save the Evergreen Warriors twice from a couple sappy situations there. See what I did there? Oh, it's fast start here. Maple 988, Python with a time in the 8 seconds, as the two teams from Group B that fell short of qualifying will be moving on. Gliding Glue Balls, Time Warpers will not advance here. It's our second heat. True Blue, Flamethrowers, the Dodgers, and the Stardust. The Flamethrowers, of course, the big story here. They failed to qualify for just the first time in their history. And not great after hosting Marble Invite Season 2, too. But they're looking like they're going to be able to advance here with True Blue. And they will, relatively uncontested. The Stardust come back way behind everybody else with a pretty poor time. Dodgers, a little bit of a surprise going out here in the heats of the Obstacle Maze. Swiftly can't get it done. But Marine and Heat do. Not to be confused with the representative of the Royal Raindrops in the funnel tournament. Heat 3, Blueberry Buttons, Stingers, Leaping Lemons, and the Aquatics. The Blueberry Buttons go straight over that center beam, but they cannot manage to navigate that entry into the tack quest clearly. They will have to catch the Aquatics, and it's not going to happen. In fact, they fall to last. Blueberry Buttons, first to worst. Not what they like to see. The Aquatics will take second. The Leaping Lemons third. And it is Buzz of the Stingers coming in with a 9 seconds flat to win the heat and advance. Stingers fans pretty pleased about that one. Red Roulettes, Lattes, Citron Sprinters, and the Oddballs here in our final heat. The Lattes, the defending B-League champions, they had a superb showing back in Season 5, and they're out to a lead here. The Oddballs, Tarzan looking to go up top, fighting, and they take the end! The Oddballs will win heat number 4. They're still advancing, are the Lattes. But man, maybe they thought they had that one in the bag, and the Oddballs said, not so fast. Well, actually, they were pretty fast, so maybe that's not what they said. I'll have to ask them in a post-game interview. The two solid teams, Red Roulette, Citron Sprinters, cannot get it done here. They will not be advancing and will settle for points within 9th to 16th. Roulette's coming in 10th, the Sprinters in 12th. The Supersonic with the fastest time of the rest. And Starman nearly a full second adrift in last. Semi-final A, Venomous Vipers, Flamethrowers, Stingers, and the Lattes here. Away we go. A couple dark-colored teams. It's the Venomous Vipers up top, and the Stingers now they're dueling back and forth. The Vipers take the bottom lane, the Flamethrowers take the line, and the Lattes, and the two of them are advancing to the final. Superb showing from the light-colored teams there. As Python and Buzz just couldn't get it done. 7:76 from heat is the best time of the event by far. And they really turned the heat up on everybody else. Well, the Lattes are used to being boiling hot as well, so maybe not so much of a difficulty test for them there. Evergreen Warriors, True Blue, Aquatics, and the Oddballs here. In the second semifinal, the Aquatics go up top. Oh, what a shot from Tarzan! Can they get by? They do! True Blue will advance with them, and the Oddballs are going to the final. After a rather dismal Season 5, the Oddballs are not messing around here out of the gate in the Obstacle Maze, and they're playing for a medal. Ocean and Maple will go no further. The Evergreen Warriors, without the aid of their friend Supersonic, and this time, although they were well behind the rest of the field. Python will take the best of the rest with a P5. As the final, we get ready. Flamethrowers, True Blue, Lattes, and the Oddballs. Who wins the first gold of the 6-event B-League here? It's True Blue up top and the Lattes on the bottom. The Lattes looking to pick up where they left off, but True Blue says not so fast, and now they get stuck. The Lattes will take it uncontested. True Blue fought with them until that point right there where they got caught up on a pin and were unable to advance. In fact, they fall off the podium entirely. The Lattes win gold again to open the B-League. And coming in second, it is Tarzan of the Oddballs. Heat from the Flamethrowers will settle for a bronze. A superb showing nonetheless, and True Blue just missed the podium. Macchiato gets it done over Tarzan and Heat. Heat still the fastest time, though. Of course, no event record for this course, considering it changes every season. But nonetheless, congratulations to the Lattes standing atop the podium over Tarzan and Heat. As we take a look at the overall standings, they will reflect the results of the event, given that, well, that's it. We've only had one event. So, Lattes hold the lead over the Oddballs and Flamethrowers, and the Stardusts are looking to get out of last place, just behind the Season 2 champions, the Blueberry Buttons. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you for the C-League shortly. I've been the Emperor. I'm simply beaming to be back here for the second event of the B-League, the Balance Beam. And oh boy, if I've started off already with the puns, you are in for a long one. Hello everybody, I'm the Emperor. The Lattes lead the B-League standings after one event over the Oddballs and the Flamethrowers. True Blue and the Venomous Vipers rounding out the top 5. So this is the balancing event. You've seen it in the qualifiers, the B-League qualifiers, and the A-League thus far. So we're ready to get right underway here with the simple track. True Blue, with their newly revamped roster, are going to kick us off here. 1:55, the provisional record. True Blue is going to tie it! Oh my gosh, out of the gate, True Blue with 3 finishers and a 35. They throw down the gauntlet to the rest of the competitors and basically guaranteed them a medal after one run. That is as close to perfect as you can get without 4 finishers. True Blue with the 1:55 ties the Marvel Sports Games record, and the Oddballs are like, oh gosh, we have to follow that. Let's see what they've got in store. They all stay on pretty far, and they're going to get a finisher. I guarantee you it's a little bit lower than what True Blue put down, but 129 is not too shabby. Good job from the Oddballs. Inferno making it all the way to the end there. Gliding Goo Balls up now with Goo captaining Slime, Sludge, and Goop. And they're all going to come a little to the near side. The last one almost gets in the catch basin, but will fall a little bit short. 126, not a bad showing from the Goo Balls as well. So already the B-League team's looking to hand it a little to the A-League competitors. They like prove we too can compete at that caliber. The Leaping Lemons will get a finisher. That's about all they had going for them. The other 3 fell off moderately early. So this should probably put them in 4th place, provisionally. And it will with a 111. Not a terrible result, but we've seen some good runs thus far, meaning the Leaping Lemons find themselves currently in last. The MRC taking in the view of balancing from the screens outdoors. Red Roulettes, Rouge, Rude, Rojo, and Ruby here. And they're going to bunch up a little bit, and that allows them to keep enough momentum to comfortably get a finisher. But if they were seeing red, it was all over the place, and not the yellow catch basin at the end. 124 puts them in 4th out of 5. Flamethrowers now have done well in balancing before. They're going to get no finishers. They almost got 2. Instead, they settle for none, and the 1 kills all the way back to the 25, and that is not great. Just almost wishing they went off at the edge there. They curl back to 26. 105, the flamethrowers fall to last. The Stinger's up now, captained by Bumble. And they're going to take a chaotic entry into the balance beam. Flutter will finish, and that is all they will get. Flutter curls around, creeps into the catch basin right there. 109 puts the Stingers in 6th out of 7. Not a fantastic showing. The Venomous Vipers up now, captained by Viper. The Vipers, of course, qualified for the Marvel Sports Games for the first time last season. Unable to make it back this time. They are going to have a curl back as well, but that one saw what the Flamethrowers representative did and was like, nope, I'm going off quickly here. And curls off to the near side. Venomous Viper's final score, let's see what we've got here. It's going to be 128. That puts him in 3rd. So provisionally a medal for the Venomous Vipers if they can hold it, as we are halfway through the field here in the B-League. Our 9th competitor, the Evergreen Warriors, have finished respectably in the funnel tournament the last few seasons, but have not made it to the Marvel Sports Games, and they're going to get a finisher. One that rides the top edge a little close, but keeps it enough to curl back into the catch basin for a 115. That puts them in 6th of 9. The Lattes are our championship leaders. 1 gold in the last event, the Obstacle Maze, and that is a chaotic entry. I've said that a few times. We've had a couple little just jumbles. Look, as soon as it's the hard impacts onto the beam. If you cannot lay off of your teammates right there, it's a little bit difficult to salvage a recoverable finish. But 118 puts them in 6th, so they're in a respectable spot right now. The Dodgers take the beam, speedy, zippy, swiftly, and dodgy. A little nudge there from the back. Marble Dodgy perhaps couldn't dodge their teammates there, and they're going to cause them to spread all over the place for a 110. Not a fantastic run for the Dodgers. Blueberry Buttons now with Barry leading the way. Our Season 2 champions looking to get 2 finishers. The one curls just off, and the other one never had enough momentum to make it through the tray. 103, that's dead last for the Blueberry Buttons, and that's not what they like to see. Our fans a little bit stunned by that one. Let's get ready for our final 4 runners. The Citron Sprinters take the beam. No one has come close to challenging True Blue as anticipated. They kind of dropped the hammer on everybody else, and the Citron Sprinters are not going to get any finishers here. A 1 comes off the 34, 35-ish area. 97 puts the Citron Sprinters in last. That's not fantastic. The Time Warpers now, captained by Pulsar. What can they do? They're going to get a pair of finishers. Now it's like a solid showing. Time Warpers, it's no True Blue, but this should put them decently high up in the order, and it's going to put them in 2nd with 135. The Time Warpers are 1 run away from clinching a podium. The Aquatics now, Aqua, Ocean, Seafoam, and Tide. They're going to get 3 staying on, 1 finisher, 2 close to the end. The one that came off pretty early, that could hurt their chances of a podium. 125, it does. It drops them to 6th. Well, this does guarantee a podium for the Time Warpers, and the Stardusts now are fighting for the final podium spot. They missed the qualifiers just barely, and it looks like they're going to have a decent run here. Will it be enough to finish on the podium? I don't think so. It's going to be pretty close, but I believe the Oddballs currently sit in that 3rd spot. Oh, just off. 129. The Stardust lose a tiebreaker for the podium, and the Oddballs will hold it. And True Blue 20 clear of the Time Warpers. Unbelievable showing again. These B-League teams showing they do have it in the balancing event, and True Blue wins gold over the Time Warpers and the Oddballs. And that will put True Blue in first by 2 points in the overall standings over the Oddballs. The Lattes drop 2. Time Warpers up to 4th. The Flamethrowers plummet 4 spots. The Stingers plummet 5. And the Stardust get well out of last, up to 11th. The Blueberry Buttons currently bringing up the rear, and that's not what they want to see. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time at the Tack Track. So long, everyone.
The A-League's halfway done, and after this, the B-League will be soon to follow with the third event, bowling, making its B-League debut. Hello everybody, I'm the Emperor, and the B-League's been on a bit of a hiatus. 5 straight A-League events following the B-League's performance in balancing, so we may be a little bit rusty on what the standings are. The bowling pins will follow similar format that we saw in the A-League. It is different from regular bowling, where a spare is just worth 2 times the second bowl. True Blue holds the lead, 2 points clear of the Oddballs. Then the Lattes, Time Warpers, and Venomous Vipers all have broke 20 points and round out our top 5. So it's going to be the same format. It's going to be 8 rounds, 2 throws a round. So it's a duo event, and we are going to have the lineup running from top left to bottom right here. So it is in qualification order, so the Stardusts were the first ones to just miss out on the qualifier, so they're going to kick us off here with a 3 to start. That's not too shabby. And 2 more, okay. Only 5 for the Stardusts, could be a little bit better. Certainly could be worse. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blind. 6 knocked down. So they're going to 3 and 3. So here come the Aquatics now, and they will take down 3. And then also 3 more. So they're going to match the Stardust step for step through 2 runs. And Seafoam and Tide, the 2 representatives of the Aquatics in this event. Third bowl now, the Time Warpers get an interesting split to take 4 down to start. What do they... Oh, okay. Well, they jumped out of line and took... It would have been a gutter ball, an actual bowling. Black Hole could not find the hole in between the pins right there, and Pulsar puts up the only 4 points on the board for the Time Warpers. Not good for the team sitting in 4th place. Here come the Citron Sprinters. They're going to knock down a total of 5. Looks like a 3 and a 2. Here comes the Lime. Got 2 down. That's, again, an interesting split. You got 3 on the left, 3 on the right. There's only so much you can do. And Lime tried to split it, but they could not get it done. And the Blueberry Buttons now had a lot of collateral damage, but couldn't get anything knocked over. And off the bat, I know there's time for it to pick up, but the B-League looking a little bit lackluster. Perhaps, obviously not living up to the competitive standards of the A-League of, well, these teams failed to qualify, so that makes sense. But also just not living up to it in this event. Maybe the rust. They haven't competed since balancing. A little bit rusty heading into this one. Look at the wobbles that Zippy gave that one. And oh, I neglected to mention Dodgy missed them all completely. And the 2 new members of the Dodgers, their audition, well, falling a little bit flat, unlike the pins on the board. And the Lattes only going to get a few more down, but it will be more than 2. Nobody's knocked down more than 6 yet. We're on, I believe, our 7th run, and the highest score is 6. And Tonacino and Espresso can only team up for 5. Spares were hard to come by already in the A-League, and this showing in the B-League is not giving them much opportunity for more. There are only going to be 5 more again from the Evergreen Warriors. We could be in for a long one here, folks. Evergreen and Pine, a 3 and a 2 for a total of 5. That could be better. Could be worse. Dodgers got 2. Could be better. Halfway home in round 1 of 8. Remember, the bottom 4 teams of each set of rounds get eliminated. So nobody's knocked out after this one, but 2 bad performances in a row could do you in. And look at this, Cobra and Python will set the top mark with 8, 5, and 3. The Venomous Vipers in a good position early. Stingers come down, they knock down 5. There's Bumble and Flutter takes down 2 more, it looks like, for a total of 7. So immediately after I say no one's broken the 6 mark, 2 teams in a row come down with an 8 and a 7. Next run now, the Flamethrowers. Of course, the Flamethrowers, this is their first time not in the A-League. They participated in bowling back in Season 4. Oh, and they can't get anything done on the second bowl. That's going to be a 4 for the Flamethrowers, and that is not what they wanted to cook. And given their history of fire, I would say they burned it. And oh man, a lot of motion, but not a lot of action. And it looks like the Red Roulettes only get 4. And the second bowl just couldn't get much done. 2 and 2, Maruby and Maroon. Not a lot of pins getting floored on this one. The Leaping Lemons now run 13 of 16. And oh, another gutter ball. That is wide right. Well, maybe got a little bit of inspiration from the Buffalo Bills there. Lemonade and Lemon Juice, just 3 for a team well down the order. And that run could have used a little bit more orderly fashion. Gliding Goo Balls will take down 5 on their initial throw. They can hit that pattern on the right, and they do, and they're just left with the split, and that's not a bad showing. Another 8 for the Gliding Goo Balls. Slime and Sludge mucking their way around down there to tie themselves for the lead. With just 2 runs to go here in round number 1, it's the Oddballs. And they're going to take down 7, and the pin comes careening into the back 3, but can't get it done. The Oddballs will settle 4-7. Inferno and Wave. Wave, the newest member of the team. Obviously, the Oddballs, rather famous for their non-symmetrical uniforms. As our final runner, True Blue, championship-leading True Blue, will take 5, and just half the points on the board, not counting spares, will be accounted for. Navy and Denim, also 2 new members, like the Dodgers, got a couple roster members opting into the season. And that'll do it for round number 1. Everyone between 8 and 2. The Dodgers are going to need likely a spare to get out of this hole that they've dug themselves into. Let's get ready for round number 2. There will be eliminations after this one. So the Stardust come down first. They take down 3. Kind of just a hole in the middle there, and that was not the strategy. They could only pin 1 down, and that's 4 total for the Stardusts. For an overall total, I believe, of 10. Yeah, Space Dust 3, Starshine 1. The Aquatics come down next. Then they've got that 1 pinned in the corner. If they can get a little bit of pressure, they can probably knock it down. And they do! What a throw! The Aquatics leave just 1 standing. And that's the best bowl of the B-League thus far. They take 9. And that will comfortably keep them, most likely, out of elimination. 15 for Seafoam and Tide. Imagine if Tide had gotten just the 1 more down. That would have been a spare of 16. Even more than their total score right now. Time Warper's up next. Oh, wobble, wobble, back and forth, but 7 is all they will get. Black Hole, at least, finding a pin to knock down this time. That's 1 more than they did last round. That'll put them at 11. Bowl 4 of round 2 here. The Citron Sprinters come on down. They're going to leave half the pins on the board. is not what you want to do. You want to knock as many down as possible, obviously. That's in the name of the game. They'll come through with 10. Now, tie-breaking procedures. The lowest high score wins or loses the tiebreaker. So the lowest frame does. So if you have two teams coming down with frames of, let's say, it's just tied at 10. If a team had a 6 and a 4 as their two frames, and the other one had a 5 and a 5, the lowest frame, the team that had the 4, loses the tiebreaker. And the lowest, if it goes to a second tiebreaker, the lowest high number per frame loses. So if teams are tied on the board with, frames, so let's say it was 5, 5, 5, and then 5, 5, 5, so everyone bowls the same. But one of those 5s had a 5 and a 0, and the other team just had 3s and 2s the whole time, that team would lose because they had the lowest high bowl. And I promise you it does not go to a third tiebreaker, because that would have driven us even more crazy. And after that brief narration, we take a look back at the field. The lattes come through, and they're going to end up sitting at 10 as well. So look at that, 3-2. And the lattes, that'll put them at 10. And similarly to what we saw with the Citron Sprinters, except for the fact that the lattes had a 4 and 1 in their prior one, and the Citron Sprinters had 3 and 2. So that would put the lattes ahead on the tiebreaker. The Evergreen Warriors come through also with 10, and also with a 4 and a 1 and a 3-2 last time. So the Evergreen Warriors are exactly tied with the lattes thus far. A lot more tightly packed scores than we saw in the A-League. I guess that's part of the lack of variation from no spares so far, but there's always time for teams to pick up the slack. The Aquatics came the closest with the 9. The Venomous Vipers, 3-2, will put them at 13 and in second place, I believe. Here come the Stingers, and they wipe out half the board, and that's a solid 5 on the right if they can get to them. Oh, and they're so close to a spare, but they're going to fall just short. And that will put them 9 flirting with the spare, but that's going to sting a little bit to come 1 pin short, but 16 overall. Can't complain about being in first. If you get the job done, no matter how you get there. They say a win's a win, so the Stingers in good position right now. 16-0, and the Flamethrowers, less good position. They only had 4 coming into this one, and by my count, they only knocked down 5 here, so that should put them in the single digits at 9, and the Will Flame, I don't think, scored a single point this entire event. And pending some drastic intervention from a few other teams collapsing, we could be in for an elimination for the Flamethrowers here. Red Roulette's also having some trouble. Ruby and Maroon, they're going to get 6. That'll put them at 10, and that 6 means, well, the other frame was a 4, which would put them below in the tiebreaker. So, a little bit of danger for the Red Roulettes, and they're rooting against every other team. I mean, that's the name of the sport. Said a few Captain Obvious statements here in this event, but what are you going to do? The Leaping Lemons come through next, also with 10, and they have a 7, meaning that their lowest frame is a 3. So that puts them below the Red Roulettes, and they breathe a sigh of relief right there. As the Gliding Glue Balls come on in with 4, and the potential to get more. Look at those back row teetering on the edge of the catch basin, but not falling down. The Gliding Glue Balls bend, but don't break the pins to knock down 5 more and put them at 13. So it looks like the threshold for the cutoff is around 10 right now as the oddballs come through with Inferno. They knock down half the field. Wave takes down 3, almost 4 more. That'll be an 8 for the oddballs. And that's 15 overall. The oddballs up in the order are not going to be eliminated. And here comes True Blue, our championship leaders. Can they knocked down a few. They knocked down 6. That's a pretty solid showing. Of course, not as solid as their balancing near perfection, but 11, Navy and Denim, look to stave off elimination, and who's it gonna be? The Stardusts, the Leaping Lemons, the Flamethrowers, and the Dodgers. 10-10-9-7 will be the elimination cutoff. The Dodgers, of course, that 2 in the first round really killed them. They could only muster 5 in the second. They'll take dead last. And we will move on now to round number 3. 12 remaining competitors. The Aquatics, the first ones to go. Sitting on a comfortable 16, I believe. They'll take 6 more to put them on, I don't know about you, but they're feeling 22. Now, never mind. I've been lied to, bamboozled, flabbergasted, hornswoggled, gobsmacked. I'll make that joke eventually correctly. Oh, here come the Time Warpers now. Following the Aquatics, 21 points. And Time Warpers were a little bit below that. This 5 will put them at 16. That's what I thought the Aquatics were at. But no, apparently it was only 15. Here come the Citron Sprinters now in run number 3. And that's going to be 7. Grapefruit and Lime teaming up for a tandem duo. 4 and 3, it looks like. They've been a pretty balanced. That's the thing. There's been a lot of balance in the showings thus far in the B League compared to the A League, where we saw a lot more splits, a lot more high leverage throws, a few more gutter balls as well. The Blueberry Buttons will take down 4. And then 1 more. That's it. I thought they got some more chaos. Look at that. Stuck in the wedge of 3 of the pins there to not even make it to the catch basin. Boysenberry, the new reserve, unable to get much going in this one. Just 1, and they could have got a couple more there if that one had toppled. The Lattes, I believe, up now. Clear out the left and the right. And that is a solid showing. Lattes getting it done. Of course, our defending B-League champions, the Lattes, Antonicino and Espresso, 17, still behind the Aquatics. That's a good throw. Evergreen Warriors, I believe, and they're going to get 7. Warriors they had a shot at qualifying for the first time this season. Couldn't get it done, but we're sitting in the B-League with 17 right now in bowling. Funnel Tournament staples as well. The Evergreen Warriors. And now a similarly green team. The Venomous Vipers. Oh, that's a bad one. That is not going to be good for the Venomous Vipers, who had a good showing up until this point. Just 3 points from Cobra and Python. It'll net them at 16 overall, so they're not falling behind, but it could be a lot better. The Stingers up now, and they're going to take down 7 more, and they were positioned well to start this round. And they might have hit a jackpot here. Let's see what this puts them at. 7 more points on the board, 23. Bumble and Flutter having a pretty good showing. First place provisionally over the Aquatics. Here come the Red Roulettes. What a bowl. 7 to start with some traffic on the field. Can they knock them all down? No, they can't get any of them. Okay. That was a potential spare on the board, and the Red Roulettes can't clear anybody else off. But 7 is not a bad showing. Ruby puts it on the board. And that is what they like to see. Gliding Goo Balls up now. We're making our way to the end of round number 3. And they are going to get 6. It's not bad. Probably around the average score for this league so far. A little bit lower. No spares yet. 10 of 12, 19 overall for Slime and Sludge. So here comes the Oddballs, and they're going to take down 3, I believe. 1 more. Make it 4. That's it. Not a great run. Wave can't knock much. And Inferno didn't really mess up the formation, so Wave had a pretty clear shot to try and cause some havoc. but they were already at 15, so 19 overall isn't too bad for the Odd Boys. And our final run, True Blue will take down 4. Navy and Denim takes 2 more. And they are truly staying pretty balanced in this one. True Blue gets it done with 17, possibly on the cusp. Now that we're through round 3, remember, no eliminations yet. But once True Blue's next run has gone, we will start to see some more eliminations. As True Blue is bringing up the rear here in the run order, which has remained constant throughout this event. So we get to round number 4. Here come the Aquatics, sitting on 21. They take down 3. Can they knock down a few more? Yeah, that's 3 more. That's a few, by definition. Solid 6. Put them at 27. Seafoam and Tide. Ready for our next competitor. The Time Warper shooting through like an asteroid up the middle. And can only get one more at his black hole. A singularity, if you will. And they certainly would have liked to have some more gravitational pull on that one to knock down a few more pins. And they are sitting behind the Aquatics. Through 2, Citron Sprinters now take down half the field. Does Grapefruit Lime comes down and glances off the front. And they swing and say foul tip. But that would have still been a live bowl. And 5-0, 22. Yeah, there we go. I missed the opportunity for the joke this time, though, so don't let that pass me by again. 6 knocked down for the Blueberry Buttons. And that'll put them at 24. Boysenberry in their first ever event as a member of the Blueberry Buttons, looking to get a few points on the board. And there's 3 knocked down for the Lattes. And just 2 more, just a 5, which started out promising for the Lattes, is starting to come up a little empty. And there we go. I don't know about you, but the Lattes are feeling 22, and that seems to be the danger zone right now. So here come the Evergreen Warriors with 5 off the board. 1 rolling back and forth, not going to cause any issues. Unfortunately for the Evergreen Warriors, they would have maybe liked a little bit of issues on there to knock down an extra pin or so, but they're going to sit at 25. Clear of the chaos, it would appear, are Evergreen and Pine. Venomous Vipers, only 2. What can Cobra do here? Okay, they get 3 more to put them at 5, but what started out strong, the Venomous Vipers are fizzling out a little bit. And they're going to only at 21, and I think that's the lowest score we've seen thus far, tying them with the Time Warpers. And they are in a little bit of danger. And the Stingers are obviously already ahead of them, so they don't have to worry about that. And they're going to get 6 more on the board. And I think that might shoot them into 30 or 29. Math seems to be off by 1 today. 29. Bumble and Flutter, which is still the provisional lead. And the Stingers sitting pretty so far. The Red Roulettes come on through, barreling into, it looks like 3. They take 2 more, just a 5. Nobody was, the exceptional runs in the B-League have been those 8s, a couple 9s. Red Roulette's sitting at 22, they're in danger. But we have not seen a spare yet, and we're almost halfway through the rounds, but well over halfway through the bowls, because it's getting proportionally lower every round. Gliding Gourballs will take 6. And we'll see if that can get them through. I think it will. They had a few stellar performances in the opening rounds. That'll put them at 25. Yes, they are clear. Slime and Sludge moving on to at least round 5 and 6. Here come the Oddballs. 6 down, 4 to go. And they take the wide right one, not the 3 cluster in the middle. Maybe a tactical blunder from the Oddballs there. But they are sitting at 26, so they are through. It's not a matter of how much you win by, just that you win. So the Oddballs know there's still time to make up just a couple points that they need on I believe the Stingers. True Blue will take 7, and that should be enough to get them through. Yes, 24, they're going to be clear. Again, I think 22, maybe 23 was that cutoff limit. So we'll see which teams are eliminated. It's the Lattes, the Red Roulettes, the Time Warpers, and the Venomous Vipers, who started out so strong with that 8, did not have an individual marble bowl higher than a 3 after that. 6 down for the Aquatics as we head to round number 5. They start to speed up a little bit here as we get to the tail end of the event. Half our field still on. 33 is where the Aquatics stand after 5. And no eliminations again. Every even round is when the eliminations happen. You don't want to be the odd one out. Citron Sprinters, oh, they could have got one more right there. They're going to drop a 7 burger here. 29, so a little bit behind where the Aquatics benchmark is. You're wondering, are we going to have to see those spares? Maybe even a strike. But we didn't see any in the A-League, so I don't know how likely the chances are we see a strike in the B-League. But are we going to have to see one of those to make a mammoth effort to overtake, like what the Silver Dollars did in the A-League? Blueberry Buttons at 28. BB carrying a little bit of weight. Boysenberry not so much. Here come the Evergreen Warriors. They take down 3. It's a little hard to count sometimes. Yeah, 3 and 2. And that's 5. Evergreen and Pine. 30 on the nose. I wonder how much a nose is shaped like an evergreen tree. I haven't before now, so I think I've been talking a little bit too long in this one. Stingers coming down now, provisionally in the lead. Does not look like a fantastic bowl. Yeah, it's only 4. That puts him at 33, tied with the Aquatics. And we have a fight for the lead. Gliding Goo Balls take down 3. And then a few more to put him at 6. And they're just consistently chipping away. Slime and sludge like a wave or a puddle of goo or something just progressing down the course in a green fashion to put them at 31. Here come the oddballs. 2 runners to go here. These rounds going a lot quicker now that there's only 8 of them. Oh, that one is not down. They almost had 1 or 2, and Wave doesn't have the strength to knock it over. Just 1 is what they will take. Oh, I guess they did count it. Yeah, look at that. They are going to count it. That is technically knocked over, I guess. Interesting decision by the stewards. But they don't make mistakes because they write the rules. So I guess that's what they're going to rule it as. It's the first time we've seen that situation in the B-League here. And True Blue comes in with 30. And that's the end of round 5. So cutoff mark to beat, we don't know yet, but I would estimate probably around like a 35-ish. Given all those teams, maybe 36. Depending on where the field stands. The Aquatics and Stingers seem to be the 2 up top right now. Already at 33 going into this. They're going to have 5 more to put them at 38. And pending a lot of huge points grabs from some teams, the Aquatics should be comfortably through into the finals. Oh, the Citron Sprinters swing and a miss at that one, and they are only going to knock down 3. Lime leaves them hanging 32. That's not good, and pretty much everything in between there probably will advance you. The Citron Sprinters in a lot of bit of danger here for a team that could really use a solid haul of points. Blueberry Buttons, meanwhile, they take down a few. And a few amounts to 6 to put them at 34. And that's what I forecasted as the danger zone. We'll have to see how accurate my foresight is in just about 5 bowls. But, I almost thought another gutter ball from the Evergreen Warriors. So they actually did pitch one off on the right side, nibbling away at the corner of the mat there. And they're going to put him at 35. So top two right now are the Aquatics and Evergreen Warriors at 38 and 35. So Citron Sprinters 32 is on the bubble right now. Here come the Stingers, who were already at 33. So we can guarantee that the Citron Sprinters will be going no further in this event, as the Stingers, I believe, ended with 7, which would put them at 40. And it will. Bumble and Flutter take the lead from the Aquatics by 2. And 2, not insurmountable, especially with 3 rounds to go, as the Gliding Goo Balls now mark to beat 34 from... Who was it at 34? Goo Balls come down. Believe it was the Blueberry Buttons with 34. 35 is the Gliding Goo Balls mark. So now them and the Evergreen Warriors, I believe, are tied at 35 for the cutoff. 9 down! That's a huge showing from the Oddballs. Absolutely clutching up, and I think that should put them through. 40, it does! They passed the Aquatics. They're tied for the lead with the Stingers. The Oddballs are through! And that will mean True Blue is the final spot. Will they be able to get it through between the Evergreen Warriors and the Gliding Goo Balls? That doesn't look good. I don't think True Blue's got it. And that could be a huge blow to a team up there in the order. Just 4:34, they're gone. True Blue cannot advance to the Final Four in bowling, and their fans are a little stunned. And it's the Goo Balls who miss out on the tiebreaker to the Evergreen Warriors at the 35-point threshold. And now it's 2 rounds to go, and the Aquatics, sitting at 38 in third place, will take down 6 pins. You can tell these scores are a lot lower than where we were in the A-League. 44 after 7 for the Aquatics is the mark to beat. And we already have 2 teams at 40. And I believe the Evergreen Warriors sit comfortably back at 35. And they're going to take down... What do we got? 6 here to put them at 41, I believe. Math is hard sometimes, so it's a little bit... there we go, I got it right. And I'll be not feeling 22 on this one, but 41, a little bit higher up. The Evergreen Warriors will probably end up in last, as the Stingers passed them with a 4 right here. At the end of this one, Stingers actually put up an 8, and 48 will take the lead. The Stingers getting it done, trying to assert that they will get a medal here in bowling. And that is a solid points for Bumble and Flutter. And our final runner in round number 7, the Oddballs take down 3. They would need 6 here to take the lead, and they go. Gosh, that was not what Wave wanted to do. They swung way wide and just wobbled off to the side. And 44, the Oddballs, they had the chance to go up with the Stingers, and it's still possible. We haven't seen a spare, and if there's any time to do it, it's now in the final round, round 8. With 4 runners to go, the mark to beat 48 laid down by the Stingers. The Aquatics take down 6 to start. A huge throw here. A spare would do wonders, but they just get 1. The Aquatics are not... Well, they're going to take the lead for now, but will the Stingers drop a dud? 51. That's a good total. Might put them clear of the Evergreen Warriors. Maybe the Oddballs. We'll have to see. The Stingers, I think the only team that's thrown less than 3 in this event was the Dodgers with their 2 in the opening round. As the Evergreen Warriors will not get anything close to a spare, and will end with a final total of 47. That's very respectable, and they're guaranteed at least 12 points. And let's see what the Stingers can do. There's 4. That's the lead, I do believe. And this is for insurance. They get 2 more. The Stingers take down the Aquatics. And with just 1 runner to go, they have guaranteed themselves a medal, no less than silver, with 54 points. An outstanding showing from the Stingers. The Oddballs, the only thing that can dethrone them. They try to set up the long spare. It's 6 on the board, and they just get 2. It's not going to happen. The Stingers are buzzing around to the top step of the podium. They will win gold over. Let's see who got second. Over the Aquatics 51, the Oddballs will take their third medal in the first 3 events. And that is a huge shifting of the tide, although that might be more fitting for the Aquatics, from last season, where they finished dead last in the B-League after a horrible showing. They are really flipping the script here with their third medal. The Aquatics up there as well with their second, and the Stingers, Bumble and Flutter, take home the gold. And the Oddballs have the lead. Figured they would with 3 events. True Blue is dethroned. 4 points behind the Oddballs, the Lattes, then the Aquatic Stingers, Time Warpers, Venice Vipers, and Evergreen Warriors rounding out the top half. Down below, a couple mainstays in the danger zone, 13th and below. And that is a desperate time for them. We'll see you next time, everybody, at the C-League. We're 3 events down in the B-League, so that means we're technically in the home stretch here as the back half kicks off with the Biathlon. Hello everybody, I'm the Emperor. It's a thriller up at the top of the standings here in the B-League as you see the Biathlon track laid out before you as the Oddballs, believe it or not, leave the championship without a single gold medal as of right now. And we are going to jump right into this one with the Stardust kicking us off. The Stardust, of course, with the team to just miss out on qualifying for the A-League this season. They're sitting not that high up in the order, and they're going to have a clean transition to the Skyrail section, but not the fastest Skyrail section. We'll have to see what it looks like overall. The benchmark time, of course, set down by whoever goes first. Everyone else has to look up or look down, and the 16:21 for the Stardusts would have put them right in podium contention back in the A-League. So that's a phenomenal sign out of the gate, throwing down the gauntlet to the competitors. Maybe not as dominant as True Blue's gauntlet run of the balancing event, but I digress. The Aquatics up now. The Aquatics, one of those teams fighting to take down the Oddballs, as Captain Aqua comes through into the Skyrail and will shoot out at the end and curl just a tad to the left. Seemed like a pretty solid showing. 1660 is a little bit down on the Stardust, about 0.4 of a second, but nonetheless, not a bad result for the Aquatics. Run number 3 now will be the Time Warpers, getting us started with Red Star in the top. They're going to be the one fired from the gate, and Captain Pulsar down at the bottom. Oh, we're not going to get down there to Pulsar because we're going to have a curlback. Black Hole may have gotten stuck in a black hole at the ends of this section and cannot complete the transition to the 3rd member of the Time Warpers. Although, maybe that was a bit of a strategical curlback. They realized if I do complete this, this is going to be a really slow transition that'll hurt the team. Probably more than just taking a DNF and going the second run. The only issue is now this second one has to be smooth. That's a pretty clean transition as they head to the Skyrail. Captain Pulsar leading the way for the Time Warpers. It doesn't look blazing fast, but we'll have to see what timing and scoring has to say because they have the final call in that, of course. 1683 will put the Time Warpers in 3rd out of 3, meaning as soon as one team passes them, they will be off the podium. Here come the Citron Sprinters now, the quarter-mile point. Citrus, Mandarin, Lemon, and Lime getting fired from the gate here. They seem to have a quicker transition on that 2nd and 3rd mile than the Time Warpers do, and a smooth one into the Skyrail. Can they keep it clean? Citron Sprinters having a decent showing here. A team that would desperately love to finish well up in the B-League standings this year have not been to the A-League since Season 2. They're going to finish in P2 right now with a 16:57, and another solid showing from the Citron Sprinters. Run number 5 now, the Season 2 champions, the last time the Citron Sprinters qualified. It's the Blueberry Buttons. And what can they do here in the biathlon? They did rather well in the relay race back in Season 1, which is probably the most comparable event in terms of style to this section. And they're going to come flying through the sky rail and curl to the right. The Blueberry Buttons with a pretty solid showing. That was a really fast run. There was not a lot of downtime. They didn't get caught up on the walls. And a 15:88, and that's first place. The Blueberry Buttons cracked the 16-second mark and vault themselves into the lead. The Dodgers now with Dodgy coming up out of the gate, looking to avoid any dodgy performances after their not very reassuring performance in bowling, as they make the transition to the sky rail around the first bend to the back stretch. Now on the front, can they clear what the Blueberry Buttons benchmark was just one run prior? It didn't look as fast just to the naked eye, but we shall see. 16:58, the Dodgers. Oh, I think that's 100th of a second behind. Would that be the Citron Sprinters? Wow. Close margins just go to show you that every second, every millisecond counts here in the biathlon as teams descend one by one. The Lattes on the course right now, looking to make a clean oh, that's not a clean transition. And in fact, that's not really a transition at all. That's a stoppage. The Lattes get hung up on the final transition. They will use their rerun here. And that's kind of what the time warpers are trying to avoid. A not so smooth transition to set them backwards and maybe slow the time down drastically. So to rectify it, they just caved and restarted. Although, of course, didn't really work out too well for them. But it worked out a little better for the Lattes. That's not what they wanted to see. In fact, they're the only team to break the 17-second mark here in this event so far, and the Lattes definitely did not have their morning coffee before this event, as they dropped to dead last. The Evergreen Warriors now see that benchmark laid down before them, and they're like, oh gosh. Well, they too are going to be using the rerun as they veer right off the track and into the sections adjacent. Pressure starting to mount again. And the teams can use that second shot and maybe a bit of that strategy in preserving it, like what the Time Warpers did. But you have to be more conservative. You have no room for error, because if you fail 2 times in a row, you will DNF. The Evergreen Warriors will not meet such a fate. They come through pretty speedily, I would say. That second run definitely looked better than some of the others we've seen. That second handoff, I should say. And 16:58 puts them into a tie. We have a tie for 4th with the Dodgers. That's pretty crazy. So we're halfway through the standings here. At least it's not a tie for a medal, otherwise they'd have to split that one. The Venomous Vipers up now. Captained by Viper, who of course will take the final handoff as the captains who will relay the anchor, and the Vipers cannot pull back at the transition to what the Time Warpers did, and that's gonna absolutely kill their time. Oh dear, the Venomous Vipers, in a blunder of tactics, cannot slither their way through this, or maybe they do slither their way through it, and that's the problem. It's too slow. 17:29 drops the Venomous Vipers into provisionally last place. The Stingers will look to better that, as only 2 teams have failed to get a sub 17-second run. Stingers flutter the second run, and they're going to have a much quicker transition from that second to third angle. As long as they have a clean one onto the sky rail, they're crawling as Captain Bumble, trying to pick up speed down the backstretch. But that final transition for the Stingers was their weak link. It is kind of a relay race, so you do have to ensure that every portion is done smoothly. 1775? And the Stingers, oh man, they drop even lower than the Venomous Vipers by half a second. The Flamethrowers see that and they're like, oh, surely we can't do that poorly. Although I've said that a few other times throughout the course of this event, and I have eaten my words pretty quickly. The Flamethrowers, perhaps trying to avoid listening to the commentator here and try to pull it down the home stretch and bring it across the line. I believe they finished in second or third when the relay race was held in Season 1, behind the Blueberry Buttons and the Silver Dollars. And they're going to sit in 7th, so no podium this time for the Flamethrowers at the 1680. But it is sub 17 seconds, which seems to be the threshold between poor and pretty poor in terms of run quality in this event. To mark the 3/4 marks of our 16 teams, the Red Roulettes descend the track now. They seem to have a clean run going, with one transition to go onto the sky rail. Oh, they're going to slow down a tad. Can they pick it up? They bring it back a little bit. Have to see how it does against their contemporaries. $16.85, another just a tad below where we have seen thus far. Bottom half result, but could still get a couple of decent points with some poor performances here. The Leaping Lemons up now as the top of the standing starts to check down the amount of runs left until they can guarantee themselves a podium. The Blueberry Buttons, of course, the team still provisionally in the lead, as the Leaping Lemons have a pretty smooth run going on right now. Picking up speed, the Leaping Lemons are flying their way to the finish line. Leaps and bounds ahead of where the Red Roulettes were, it looked like. $16.48, the Leaping Lemons take third. They put themselves on the podium, and that is a stupendous position for them to be in, sitting well down the order halfway through the B-League. The Gliding Gooball's up now with Goop sitting in the gates, trudging around, awaiting to be released, and here they come out of the gate. The second leg is, oh, it's no good. It's wide to the left, and it's still going down onto the floor. Look at this. They just skip right out of the gray track section of the Gravitrax. So this false start will lead to the Gooballs having one more opportunity here. You can see right on the floor where they were definitely not intending to be as this event transpired. See, can they get through it this time? Nope. No, they cannot. The third marble gets going anyways, which is not legal, unfortunately, for the Gliding Gooballs. This is going to result in a DNF. The referees have reached their verdict, and the Gliding Gooballs will slot into last place here. That is unfortunate. You can see the third marble was like, oh, I'm going to go anyways, but they got no points due to the DNF. And now, the Oddballs are championship leaders here. Can they go 4 for 4 on medals? They don't have a gold yet. Inferno comes around and hits Tarzan here. Can they make the transition smoothly to Swirl? No. Swirl's going to falter. And there is no room for error for the Oddballs now. They have to have a clean second run in order to get some points. Although maybe the Gliding Gooballs would be... Oh no, the Oddballs curl back even farther up the course this time. And Inferno can't get the transition done, and their captain is not happy. The Oddballs were in first, and now they will take nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. True Blue, oh gosh. It has been unraveling. Is that 5 straight DNFs? Let's see, the Oddballs with 2, the Gliding Gooballs with 2, True Blue with 1. That is 5 straight DNFs after we saw a relatively clean field throughout the whole event. And True Blue really could capitalize here on the Oddballs not being able to score. They make it through cleanly. They've got 1 transition to go for points, and they're going to get it. That is amazing for True Blue to gain ground on the Oddballs. The question is now, how fast will it be? It looks pretty solid down the front stretch. And they could really capitalize on the miscues of the Oddballs if they can get a decent haul of points here. The Blueberry Button's guaranteed no less than a silver, and it will be gold with True Blue just clocking in 11th place. The Blueberry Buttons have won gold, and they will stand triumphant atop everybody here with a 1588, better than any time we've seen thus far in the event, and well clear of the Stardust 1621 in second, and the Leaping Lemons 1648 in third. Congratulations to the Blueberry Buttons. It's been a long time coming for them. The Stardust, congratulations to them in second, and the Leaping Lemons in third. The overall standings will see True Blue take the lead on the medal count bracket. They have the gold. Oddball's highest finish is silver. They are now tied above the Aquatics and the Lattes. The Stingers, Time Warpers, Blueberry Buttons up 6, and Evergreen Warriors rounding out the top half. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm the Emperor. A staple of the Marble Sports Games and the B-League, the Elimination Race makes its 3rd appearance here in the 2nd feeder competition. Hello everybody, I'm the Emperor. With 2 events to go in the B-League, it's really starting to heat up here at the top of the standings. The championship battle up for grabs. The Lattes looking to go back for back. True Blue, the Oddballs, the Aquatics looking to deny them. And it's a tie at the top between True Blue and the triple medal threat Oddballs right now. Here you can see our competitors in this classic event of the Elimination Race, from Stargaze down to Blue Blue. We have a lot of returning medalists here, as this event has been featured in every main league since Season 3, as well as the subsequent leagues in Seasons 3 and 5, and now 6. We have a couple, oh my gosh, more than a couple of DNFs here in the opening round. You can see the Goo Ball stuck there. I saw someone shoot off the track, and a trifecta of marbles there. The one at the back is eliminated, and that will be the Leaping Lemons, who won the C-League Elimination Race just 1 season ago. They're going to go no further, and it's been a struggle for them this season to get any points. They have that one good result, but Lemon continues to disappoint here, and the Leaping Lemons season is not off to, well, I'm not going to say off to a good start. It's not off to a good finish right now either. 15 of our competitors remain now. Get any more stoppages? We will! It's the Oddballs! The Oddballs, with their 3 medals in their first 3 events, will now pick up 2 points in their last 2 events. So, a very high, low season for the Oddballs, as Swirl cannot get it going this time. We are seeing a few of those teams fall off to the near side there through that gateway into the snowflakes. We'll have to see if that becomes more of a problem as the DNFs start to fizzle out when there are less and less jostling for positions with less marbles on the field. The Oddballs fans taking it in a little disappointed, but they're still up there in the order, and that's not something they could say about, well, realistically any season in their prior history, so they'll take it. Out in the lead, it's the Dodgers. That is silently, I believe, who gets nudged by the Aquatics, but of course it's not who finishes first. It is who finishes last. And who do we have here? Is that the Stingers, who will go no further. in the elimination race, just behind the Time Warpers. I do believe it is Stingers, unless my eyes deceive me, which would not be the first time it happens. Oh, it's the Venomous Vipers! Viper goes down. I was deceived, and Saul Guerrero would have a field day with that one. Every day, more live. 13 competitors together. The Vipers won a medal in the elimination race back in the Sea League in Season 3, and now it's going to be the Stardust who get caught up in the gaggle at the end of the track section, just behind Oak of the Evergreen Warriors. Stardust's not having a fantastic season either. Look, they got past that one jumble, including the Dodgers, and Stargaze cannot get it past the second one. The Evergreen Warriors a little bit thankful for that, knowing that they will survive another round as a result. Oak won the bronze in the B-League last season, so they're looking to try and repeat their medals. The other two finishers on the podium that season were the Silver Dollars and Team Eagle, both of which are in the A-League, which was won last season by the Dodgers, who are out. Eliminated here in one of the opening rounds of the elimination race. Silently, the King cannot go back-to-back with gold medals in the elimination race. No fans a little stunned, but alas, nothing they can do. With 11 teams to go now, out of the cannon for the Red Roulettes and the Time Warpers. The Time Warpers fall to last now. Can they get by a few teams? And they do. It's the Lattes, another team high up in the order who cannot get it done, which means that the pathway to the championship is opening up a little bit more for True Blue and the Aquatics. Blue, of course, in the inaugural elimination race, won a silver medal. That started their fantastic Season 3 that led to True Blue being on the overall podium. The Aquatics, right next to them in the starting block, have not been on the overall podium. Would like to get it going, and they're fighting for the lead with the Time Warpers. The Aquatics win the round, and the Time Warpers get pushed. I think they're going to be eliminated unless there was someone who got stuck higher up on the course. That's absolutely tragic for the Time Warpers, who just had it all slip away from them in the home stretch. Quasar cannot find the finish line and find themselves outside, looking in on the remaining 9 teams, fighting for the penultimate gold of the B-League. It's the Red Roulettes leading the way over the gliding Goo Balls. The camera pans and the Goo Balls win the round over the Aquatics, who have been consistent front runners, and this time I do believe it's the Stingers. Although if it's not, I'm sure their fans are going to be all over me for contemplating their elimination twice now. And Buzz, okay, it is the Stingers who are finally eliminated. They will come through in 9th, 7 solid points for the bowling gold medalists, just 2 events ago. And we've got our top half now. A few of these teams on the podium before. Out of the gate, it's the Goo Balls in the back, trying to play catch-up to get by the Blueberry Buttons. The Season 2 champions looking to get by, and they will on the virtue of the Citron Sprinters are out of here. They get stuck up at the same section that the Time Warpers and the Stingers did as well. This has been preposterous, the amount of DNFs we've seen at the end here. Something maybe the stewards look into with the track slope. Lemon drops a lemon in their final round and is unable to get anything more than 8 points. 7 competitors to go now, 6 multicolored teams, and the Red Roulettes still, who are fighting to try and recapture some of that magic they had last season, and they're going to win the round. The Flamethrowers get stuck, but the Blueberry Buttons are stuck higher up on the course, and it's another DNF elimination. We've seen them all, I feel like, this event, as they just can't get through the snowflakes, and Bluey bows out here in race 10 of 15, 2/3 of the way to crowning another gold medalist here. everybody left will finish with double-digit points. True Blue and the Aquatics, two of our top three in the championship, still in the competition, and will be as well after this round. Oak bows out, and the Evergreen Warriors will take 10 points, unable to defend their bronze medal from one season ago. The reserve putting up another solid showing though. They've really found their footing in this event. We've got 5 now remaining. The Flamethrowers, the Red Roulettes, the Gliding Goo Balls, True Blue, and the Aquatics. Whoever wins between those two should probably take the championship lead, pending some massive intervention from the others, and I don't think it's going to happen. The Red Roulettes trail across the line in last, meaning that they will be eliminated, and we've got our final 4 now. The Flamethrowers scorch with their 2 gold medals back in Season 4. This was one of them. The Aquatics, not a finisher on the podium here in the event in any prior season, and the Gliding Goo Balls, I don't believe have been either. True Blue, of course, back in Season 3. So 2 of these marbles have finished on the podium before. One of them, again, is guaranteed to, and it's the Flamethrowers and Aquatics dueling back and forth. The Flamethrowers take the lead, and the Goo Balls are stuck! And that will mean Goop comes through eliminated, and we have our podium. True Blue and the Aquatics guaranteed their 2nd medal of these games. The Flamethrowers desperately in need of points to get out of the bottom few where they've never been before. They've never been in the B-League before. And they are fighting with 2 blue-color teams. Of course, the Flamethrowers and Aquatics rivalry dates back all the way to Season 1. They're probably looking to go gold and silver here. What can True Blue say about it? They take 2nd place from the Flamethrowers, who will bow out with a bronze medal. A superb showing for them, but not exactly what they were looking for, which means this is setting up for a huge championship implications. The Aquatics and True Blue, guaranteed to be the top 2 in the standings now, are fighting for the top 2 in this event. Whoever wins it will take the championship lead, I believe. Aquatics, True Blue. What do we got for the final here in the B-League elimination race? The Aquatics take the top lane. True Blue to the bottom and to the lead. The Aquatics trying to play catch-up. And they got him! They passed them! The Aquatics get it at the line and win gold! What a move! They waited till the last second. And then, soaring through with the tide, the Aquatics take home the gold medal in the elimination race. An absolutely thrilling finale. Ocean gets it done over Blue Blue, who takes their 2nd elimination race silver. What a pass! They shored up victory at the end, snatching it from the sands of defeat. And the Aquatics stand above the Flamethrowers and True Blue on the podium. What an event. And that means they do lead the overall championship by 2 over True Blue, who are really isolating themselves from the rest of the pack. In fact, only the top 4 can win it now, with just 1 event to go. The Evergreen Warriors are up to 5th without a medal, which is very impressive. And from them on down to the Venomous Vipers in 14th, can still finish on the overall podium, but cannot win. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you for the C-League finale next time. The snowstorm still stuck with us here at the home of the Greenies for the B-League finale. The Triathlon returns. And I'm the Emperor here on the call with Spenny from the Board Network's Marvel Championship to deliver the action of the final event of Season 6 B-League.
And boy, do we have an interesting title fight. Thank you so much for inviting me here, Emp. This is going to be very interesting between the Aquatics and the True Blue. Only 2 points separating them. There it is as we head into this final event of the B-League. The Oddballs had a fantastic first half. It's fallen away from them, but they're still in a pretty good chance to advance out of the B-League here or into the qualifiers. Now,
Heat number 1, Gliding Goo Balls, Stingers, Evergreen Warriors, and the Stardust. It's the two teams on the outer lanes fighting for the lead. It's the Stardust now, and Gliding Goo Balls come from nowhere to hold on to the win over the Evergreen Warriors.
Very interesting race. I think, where's the Gliding Goo Balls on top? Had the lead here. Some bouncing around going on. Look at this, the Gliding Goo Balls at the back at this moment. In fact, the bottom two at this point are the two that advance. So, bit of a change of fortune there for the Stardust and the Stingers. The captain of the Stardust not able to hold on to that as we head on to the second heat. Fans of the Gliding Goo Balls particularly happy about that. So we have True Blue, one of our championship contenders, Citron Sprinters, the Blueberry Buttons, and Red Roulettes. And what a start from True Blue. Oh my goodness. Red Roulette's on the top as well. Blueberry Buttons, they're closing in. And it's going to be a three-way fight. True Blue, are they going to advance? Oh my goodness, the Blueberry Buttons come to a stop.
And that's huge championship implications out of the gate because it means the Lattes can no longer win because True Blue advanced. But the Blueberry Buttons just curl into the wall, and what looks so promising for them is going to result in a DNF and a provisional last place. True Blue, of course, two-time winners of the triathlon, so the Aquatics are going to have their work cut out for them here, trying to take them down. But this is going to be interesting. They're not in this heat, they're in the last one, but the Flamethrowers, the Oddballs, the Time Warpers, and on the top lane, the Lattes in heat number 3 here. And up front, the Lattes hold the lead. It's the Flamethrowers in the back from downtown. They come back and take the win and advance over the Lattes.
And another travesty in the water, this time for the Oddballs. The reserve member does the exact same thing as Blubby from the Blueberry Buttons. It comes to a stop in the water. You know, the Lattes having the lead here, bumping against the chalk there. So that's probably helped them come to a stop there. But the Flamethrowers, they have had a very up and down B-League so far. So it looks like to be pretty good final event for them. Yeah, Oddballs fans, not too happy as we head into Heat 4. The Dodgers, they have won this event before along with the Venomous Vipers. The Aquatics on top. We have a big championship contender in here. And look at the run from the Aquatics, but they come to a stop. The Aquatics have thrown it in the water. Are they even going to finish? They cross the line so slowly. And that is huge. True Blue have this championship wide open for them. Look at this. What a lead the Aquatics had. And they threw it away in the water.
It comes down to the old trope of water teams being incapable of performing in the water, and now the Aquatics' fate lies in the hands of timing and scoring. The lead was 2 going into the event. True Blue is guaranteed 8 or more points, so if the Aquatics finish lower than 10th, it is going to be over, and they're calculating it now. The standings from 9th to 16th, it's 13th! And what that means is that dreams really do come true. For the first time, True Blue stands atop the championship in the Marble Sports Games. And they're thrown right back into the fire here with the Flamethrowers, Venomous Vipers, and the Gliding Goo Balls in the semifinal. But they want more. They want another gold. It's the Venomous Vipers in the lead. True Blue sits in third. It would take a mammoth effort for them to overcome it. But here they come past the Flamethrowers. They cross-slash them at the line, and True Blue has come back to the finals.
What a run there. What is happening to these teams in the water? It's almost like they're freezing in there. But we have the Gliding Goo Balls at the back. They came to a stop. The Flamethrowers threw away that advancement, and True Blue, along with the Venomous Vipers, they will be going to the final. My goodness.
This has been a crazy one for sure. Absolutely unreal this far.
So we head to the 5th through 8th. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, yeah, sorry. Semifinal B, I lie. We have the Evergreen Warriors, the Lattes, the Red Roulettes, and the Dodgers. Dodgers, as I said, they've won this before. Can they do it again? Evergreen Warriors would also like to end the B-League with a gold, and it looks like they're going to have a chance here. slow in the water, but it will be those two, the Evergreen Warriors and the Lattes. The Dodgers are not going to do it. So those will be the ones fighting over the gold medal in the final.
The Warriors, of course, the highest team in the standings without a medal, would love to etch their name into getting one here in the B-League for the first time. The Lattes, of course, no strangers to their podiums, and would be looking at possibly securing that overall podium, with the oddballs getting knocked out in the heats, and the Lattes going to the final. Flat White looking to get it done here. But here is the 5th through 8th. Red Roulette's down to the gliding glue balls. That means teams like the Dodgers sitting well down the order. They were in dead last, I believe, going into this one. I do not believe they will be escaping the bottom 4. But that brings us to the final. Anaconda from the Venomous Vipers, Flat White from the Lattes, Blue, the captain of True Blue, and Pine from the Evergreen Warriors for the last time in the B-League. Everyone's putting neck and neck going into the maze. It's the Lattes and Venomous Vipers fighting for the lead in the water, and the Vipers will come across the line and win gold in the triathlon.
And do or do not, there is no try, as the saying goes, and True Blue definitely tried there, but came to a stop in the water. But what a run that was. Let's have a look at it again. The Lattes and the Venomous Vipers. It will be the Venomous Vipers taking the gold medal in this final event of the B-League. And once again, some of the teams almost come to a stop. Something is up with that water. I think it's frozen. But anyway, it is the Venomous Vipers on top.
Yeah, definitely slower times than what we've seen in the A-League. Maybe it's skill, maybe it is. It's really cold out here, and our teams are freezing. But congratulations to the Venomous Vipers, the Lattes, and the Evergreen Warriors. 3 teams that made their debut in mid-season madness, all standing atop the final podium of the season, but not the final podium, as that belongs to True Blue. Congratulations to all our competitors, to all our teams. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Spenny, for joining me. And we'll see you after the closing ceremony.
Bye!